You know, when I said I was gonna get new blinds, well, curtains, I didn't expect it to make the lighting all funky. So, do you guys think I should change the curtains out? Because it's messing with everything. Matter of fact, I think we'll be fine. It should be fine. I mean, I ain't even too worried about that to begin with, so I think I should be fine. Anyway, let's get this out the way. Trigger warning: if you are sensitive to topics such as self-harm, suicide, and sexual assault, I suggest you click out this video, because today is going to be pretty heavy, okay? And it's going to be pretty serious for the most part. So, like I said, if you're sensitive to topics self-harm, suicide, and sexual assault, tune in next week. But now that we get that out of the way, let us begin. Alright, that's a lot better. I had to switch the curtains because they give out the most optimal lighting. But anyway, hello everybody, welcome back to another banging episode of Talking That Nonsense with your host, me, Michael. Looks like we're on our 34th installment of Talking That Nonsense. Never in my wildest dreams, people. Well, unfortunately, no send-its today. But today we have like a targeted video for the uninitiated. It is April. April is SA Awareness Month, or Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And the colors are like I'm pretty sure they're like a blue color. So yeah. But anyway, we kind of are going to make a video. We gotta make a video about this. We made one for the for Suicide Awareness Month, and you know, why not? Let's talk sexual assault. It's pretty bad. It's pretty, just like the name implies, sexually assaulted. You know, it's usually when someone brings up the just sexual assault as a whole, it kind of has a way of silencing a room, or pausing a conversation, or just causing this like awkward pause when anybody talks about sexual assault. Let us look up the definition of sexual assault, because why not? Alright, the definition of sexual assault. Sexual assault is an act in which one intentionally sexually touches another person without the person's consent, or coerce, or physically forces a person to engage in a sexual act against their will. I fumbled on the or coerce. Another word for coerce, I guess. COERCES. So that's basically just persuade. So it's the act of persuading someone or physically forcing a person to engage in a sexual act against their will. That's yucky garbage. And it's disgusting. You know what I mean? I think that anybody that initiates in that terrible act deserves to be, well, burned at the stake, really, because this happens to children. Children get sexually assaulted. It's saddening. And like, what's even worse is like when people, or when like the victims of, you know, it's not an easy thing to talk about. So when someone is unfortunately assaulted, some people might decide to like not tell somebody right away. Somebody might decide to wait a while before telling anybody. And when people speak out about being assaulted, it's almost as if they take this level of like just like shame or something, you know what I mean? Like people are ashamed to come out and say that yes, I was assaulted, and I'm not saying that doesn't happen. It does happen, unfortunately, but some of the reasons are they worry about, you know, just like the shame aspect of it, the shame factor, and it's sad. It really is. It really, really, really is sad. Sad because someone could be assaulted, and then years later they finally gather up the courage to want to speak out about it, and not only they're just afraid of like, you know, that, I guess the shame aspect of it, but some people might shun them, you know? Like, I've heard of people that are like, well, I spoke out about me being assaulted and I was ridiculed and I was called weak by other people. I was called gullible, foolish, and all these other just these words, these terms, because I decided to speak out about it. That is terrible. Remember talking to somebody, we were having a conversation, and they were like, well, this one guy, I forget what conversation we were having, but also they were like, well, it was one woman that tried to file like assault charges against her husband because he tried to have like sex without her consent or something, and I was like, yeah, what about it? And then he was like, oh well, I think that's pretty stupid and foolish because you can't sexually assault somebody that you're dating. You can't rape somebody that you're dating. You can't do this because you guys are dating. You can't do that. And I just kind of sat there and I looked at him, and and after that like 20 seconds of like thinking, I was like, oh crap, he isn't joking. He actually has that mindset that you cannot assault or rape a significant other. Um, yeah, you can. Something that I've talked about with other people is like when I don't care if they're your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, when you guys are together, consent is still a thing. Like it really is. Um, People think when they start dating or they marry somebody, that whole consent, the whole do you want to thing goes out the window. No, it doesn't. It's still there. It's still there. It really is. So, I don't know what's so confusing about that. People that to this day still can't take no as an answer. Like, well, it just boggles my mind because when I sat there, because it really bugs me because I can't remember what we were talking about. But we were talking about something. One second, sorry, excuse me. I gotta put my phone on silent. But anyway, it just bugs me that people actually think that way. And I was like, what the heck is this garbage? Yeah, you can't sexually assault. Like this woman tried to file a rape charges against him, and you can't rape your wife. Like, what? What? So that was a bit stupid, a little goofy. But I'm really confused. Since this is about to be a depressing video for sure. But since we're talking about sexual assault, we're gonna dabble a little bit into sexual abuse. Now, the definition of sexual abuse or sex abuse, as referred to as molestation, is the abusive sexual behavior by one's person upon another. It is often portrayed using force or by taking advantage of another. As I live and breathe and talk about this subject, it's unfortunate that I have to say this happens to children. This quite literally happens to children every day. I don't know how pathetic, how worthless, how scummy you have to be to assault somebody, but on top of that, them being a young child, that will carry with them for the rest of their lives. You've scarred them. There'll never be their shame again. So for you to do that is, you deserve the firing squad. You deserve the gas chamber. You deserve to be burned at the stake. It's only fair. And when it comes to relationships, let's boomerang back to that. Because I remember, if you guys can remember, I don't remember what episode it was. I think it was, forget what episode it was. 1 second. We were talking about relationships. Because honestly, to this day, I still think that video is still one of my best videos I've ever uploaded. Ever. The video is called Relationship Rambles. That's episode 6. I might as well get that tattooed on my arm. But episode 6, Relationship Rambles, I go into like what makes a relationship, what makes a good relationship, what makes a bad relationship. And people, it's sad. Because like I said, I still do have people that come to me and talk to me about their relationships and stuff like that and be like, oh, well, so-and-so I'm dating. We've been dating for a long time, but he abuses me. Like, it's terrible, because when that person loves that person and they're just here for something else, like, let me elaborate on that. You're in a relationship with this person that you love, and their other person that you're dating is just there to use you for your body. And one of the worst instances that I hate is when they're like, oh, well, if you don't do this and this with me, then you obviously don't love me. If you don't do this and this, then you don't want to touch me. Am I that disgusting? Like, I hate people that like want to like do like sexual things, and when they get denied that, they pout like a child until they get what they want. Somehow coerce them into doing this. They guilt trip, they gaslight, they do all this stuff like, oh, well, I did this for you, now you need to do this to me. It could be completely irrelevant. Like, oh, well, I bought you this, so now you have to do this. No, that's not how that works. It's not how that works. Not how that works at all, actually. Then again, that's quite a scummy tactic within itself, for you to like guilt trip somebody into like doing hanky related material things with them. You know what I mean? It's, as I, it's, cause, as I sit here and talk about this, yeah, it does make me a little bit uncomfortable. Because, like, just the idea, okay, because It's just bad, you know? It's like really, really bad. Just the idea of somebody just pulling that nonsense and just thinking they can just rejoin society the next day after pulling such a nefarious move is just disgusting. Sad to say that people that I know that have pulled those moves before are still walking before me as if they are trying to slowly rejoin society, and I can tell you that's not gonna happen. Not as long as I'm living, breathing, and preaching the word. You are not going to have a normal life. You're not. That's not how any of this works. That's not how any of this is gonna work in the first place. But what I can tell you is, if you are currently in a relationship like that right now, you need to leave. I don't even care if it's in the pre-stages of that. If you see a change where it's like, oh, well, lately he's been like this, and if I don't do this, then, no. Don't give it a chance. Leave. Also, there'll be these people where they act all nice, and then once they pull them into a relationship, they take off the mask and they're like an abusive idiot. Oof. Worst of the worst. Worst of the worst. Relationships are just kind of a big part of somebody's life, you know? And some people are willing to do anything to be in a relationship with said person, which I think is pretty crazy. Emotions, man, I tell you, emotions are dangerous, especially when emotions begin to just grow and brew and get bigger and just like, because let's admit, we've all in our lifetime have acted irrational when emotions are high. Like if you're panicking, then you're like, oh God, I need to go do this. Or if you're angry, I'm going to go do this to this person. If you're angry at somebody, you can go up there and like smack them or hit them. Just that impulsiveness, that surge of just anger, that the fight or flight response, man, it's scary. But also on the fact that, like I said, because like I said, there are people that I know, and yes, I've reported it. They're like, well, I'm in this relationship, and they do this and this to me, or they get me to do this if I don't do because they did this or something like that. And if you're a person that knows that somebody's experiencing this, or unfortunately a part of this, then if you see something, say something, because you could be a step away from helping somebody, preventing somebody from being assaulted, preventing somebody from, getting hurt, getting killed. Because people, like I said, people do some pretty crazy things over people. It's the sad truth. People are willing to say, oh well, if you don't sleep with me, I'm gonna kill myself. If you don't do this, I'm gonna cut myself. Like, people that pull those maneuvers are the lowest of the lowest, subhumans that do not deserve to breathe the same air as nobody else. Subhumans. The worms in the ground get more respect than them. I tell you, abusers, assaultants, just love the power, I bet. It's disgusting, really, it is. But also, on that matter, children get assaulted, women get assaulted, and men get assaulted. Everybody, anybody can get assaulted. Now, the argument that I was having with somebody one day about how men can't get assaulted, and if they do, they're weak, and oh, how can a man get assaulted? They're men. They're way stronger than whoever assaulted them, and people like, oh, well, I know this guy that got assaulted, and you reported it, and I heard about it, and well, that guy's like, that's this and that. He's weak. He let his girlfriend assault him. He's supposed to be a man. Well, it's not possible for him to be assaulted because men are stronger than women, so it doesn't make any sense. That guy was just making up crap to get that woman in. No. Let me tell you, anybody can get assaulted. And the argument that people make is just like when people are like raped or assaulted, they're like, oh, well, it must have been what they're wearing. Saw this post, saw this like museum or something like that, where it said what people wore when they were like raped or when they were assaulted. Like, they were just like their clothes like lined up on a wall. There was like several pairs of clothes with like names or something on them, and like the ages. And there was just like a regular t-shirt and blue jeans, and there was like a regular dress, and like that's not how any of that works. It was maybe if they didn't wear this revealing outfit, they wouldn't have got assaulted if they would. No, that's not how any of this works. And people that say that to when people come forward about rape or something like that, it's disgusting. Because their first instinct, apparently, is to want to blame them. You did it to yourself. You let yourself get drunk. You let yourself do this. You were gullible enough. You fell for it. Most people don't know that they're being manipulated until it's too late. Manipulation. It's terrible. Scummiest of the scummiest. Especially when people get manipulated into doing sexual acts. That is what? That is sexual assault. It's rape. It's disgusting. We all do. I just want it to stop, you know? Because just imagine a world without child molesters, a world without rapists, a world without sexual assault or sexual abuse. That would be a good world. That would be a really good world. But let's get the facts straight. Like I said, anybody can be assaulted. Women, children, men. Anybody can be assaulted. And no, it is not based on what they were wearing at the time of the assault. Also, like, there are male rapists and there are female rapists. There are male child molesters and female child molesters, because people think. Because I do remember this one girl trying to make this argument that, oh well, females can't rape people, or females can't molest children, or females can't do. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And she just sat there going on a tirade about how like men are pigs and they can't do this, they can't do that, or how that's not how it works. If you want to sit there for a minute and believe that women can't assault people, women can't assault men, women can't assault children, or stuff like that, well, you look at your local sex offenders registry. I mean, the same thing goes for men too, if you believe that men can't rape. But at least it is my belief that men don't rape. Rapists rape. And rapists aren't men. You know? And same thing for the female counterpart. Females aren't rapists, and rapists aren't females. rapist is a rapist, you know? Get, they're just terrible people in the end. Can we just all collectively agree that, like, those people are put in their, well, they are. They are. They're all put in their own category, as they should. It just scares me. So, like, people live in a neighborhood of, like, there are people in the neighborhood, like, people that are on the registry are, like, legally obligated to go up to you and introduce themselves and be like, hi, my name is John Doe, and I am legally required to inform you that I am a certified sex offender, you know? I know it's like sex offenders can't be, like, in a certain distance from a school or something like that. I'm pretty sure, like, they have to have, like, these signs or these ribbons or something, I don't remember, on their house, or like plates or something. It's a whole thing. I mean, as they should. After you've committed an act such as that against anybody, especially children, you deserve to be put on the spot. You deserve to, you know, have all the lasers aimed at your head. You know what I mean? You're kind of a terrible person. But I'm tired of this, like, it's just, and I don't want to make it seem like by me making this video, all the assaults, all the rapes, and all the abuse is going to stop. But what I am going to say is, well, it needs to stop. Of course, it's not going to, unfortunately. If it was that easy, if my voice had that much of an impact, think of all the problems in the world that would be solved. Fortunately, I'm not that powerful. Not yet. But as I sit here and think and think and think, I'm just it. There are things I want to say, but, like, I just don't know how to put it. And most of, like, the things I am feeling is just disgust, because the instances, the stories, the friends, the people that have come forward about this, it's terrible. It just bugs me when people, like, do that cat and mouse back and forth. Well, men can't get raped, and all that stuff like that, and females get raped because of the because of the, because of the clothes they wear, and males are, yeah, this and that. It's just, can we just agree that this is a bad thing and it happens to anybody? I mean, that's it. There is no one side. No, that's it. Okay, that's quite literally it. I love how people always gotta find a way to divide us. It's sad, really. it's it's sad. It really is. Um, I think that first, let me just put this out there. The National Sexual Assault Hotline is 1-800-656-4673. That is for the National Sexual Assault Hotline. Then again, it is 1-800-656-4676. 4673. Again, because I swear I messed that up. The National Sexual Assault Hotline is 1-800-656-4673. So, there you go. There's all, you can also, like, if you look it up on your computer or just anywhere on Google, you can call them, you can text them, you can go to the official website. It's sad. I mean, it's really, 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 really sad. I'm like, I clicked on the website. I'm looking at the website right now, and it's very it is very I don't know. Hmm. Sad, really. You know what I mean? Like the lengths people have to go, and like when people go into relationships and stuff like that, you know, expecting, you to be with this person and to have same interests, to love each other, and that is the case in some relationships. And unfortunately, for some relationships, people get into them and they're like, oh, well, I love this person a lot. But it also saddens me when, like, I'm talking to a friend and then they're just like, well, now we're kind of straying away from like this whole thing. This is just like a whole different segment, but it like annoys me when people are like, oh, well, there's this guy I dated. We've dated for a while. Well, we dated for a while, but he always like wanted to sleep with me. He always wanted to have like sex and everything, and I really didn't think nothing of it until the end when we finally like broke up, and I told him that I don't want to right now, and that we don't have to do it every single time. And he got upset with me and went on this tirade about how selfish I am and how I don't love him and how he broke up with me. And well, he did. And I was like, are you okay now? He's like, yeah, I'm okay. It upsets me, and he's like, she's like, I'm upset with myself that it took me so long to realize that I was, being used. And I was like, it is sad. And it's like, it's even more sad to know that he's back out there dating somebody else and probably pulling the same exact stuff he pulled on me, because he's just not a good person. Oh man, this video is depressing. And it just saddens me when like people are assaulted, people are raped. Not only do they not want to come forward about it because they're not like the scrutiny that they will face. Because like I said, people will sit there and do the blame game on them and like, you let yourself get raped. It was because of what you wore. It's because of how you presented yourself. You obviously wanted it. No! Nobody wants to be raped. Nobody, okay? Nobody wants to be raped. Not a single person, not a single soul wants to be raped. So you can get that idea out of your mind. Nobody. Not a single person. It makes me sick to know that people say that in the first place. It's disgusting. Like I said, if you are like in the pre-stages of like, if you think there was no, maybe I'll give it some time, there was maybe I should, no, get out now before it's too late. Please. It's just, man, it was tough. It's tough talking about this stuff, but here on this channel, I like to, talk about things that are real. I like to press on topics that are, real, because yeah, I like to be funny and I, like to goof around, but I want to, remind you guys that this is the real world and this is happening to people all around us and you and all around the world. So I didn't mean to ruin your day if you did decide to stick by and watch it, but I felt like, not only is it, suicide or, I mean, Sexual Assault Awareness Month that, I make a video talking about it and how, how it can happen to anybody, and it's not just, specifically one gender that does it. Everybody does it. It can happen to anybody. Men, women, children. Women can rape. Men can rape. That's the end. But, man, I tell you. Like I said, I'm sorry if you did decide to stick by and now you're probably like just shocked, stunned, because those are people that I know that have been going through, like, in certain videos when I've talked about this and this, they're like, I started to cry mid-video because of the things you talked about, because I am a survivor, or I am this and that, and I'm like, I am sorry for you. I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but it won't happen again. You're safe. Well, seems like our time here has almost expired. I want you to go out and do something that you enjoy. Go outside. I mean, it's getting ready to storm. It is now Wednesday, April 5th, 2023, and we've been hit with like back-to-back tornadoes and like literally like tsunami like weather in Ohio. So go outside the best you can. Go do something you enjoy. Go do a puzzle with your mom. Go cook dinner for your mom. Go play Call of Duty. Go play Call of Duty. Run circles around their teabag or 360 no scope. Go wash your hands. Don't touch your face. All that good stuff. Because at the end of the day, nobody is more important than you. Then again, my name is Michael. This has been Talking That Nonsense. Also, I want to let you guys know that last week's episode, I know, was a little uppity. It was those two's first time, like, attempting to record a video by themselves. Yeah, I came in and out, and I don't remember what they talked about, because I haven't even watched that video yet, just because I'm back behind. I like to watch my own video. Sometimes I like to re-watch the entire series over and over again, because it's that entertaining. But when they're on, come on, you guys, cut them some slack. They're a part of the show now, so, I try to do it bi-weekly. I don't mean to do it back-to-back, so, like, this week I'm recording, and next week Arson or Skittles will record, and then next week it'll just be back to me. I'm trying to keep it on a good rotation, because, I want to, because people are like, well, they're good and everything, but I want you, because I'll admit, last week's episode flopped. I'm like, thanks for your feedback. I mean, that's what I want is feedback, so talk to them, we'll touch on some things, and, we'll work on it, because I want the show to go as long as, on as long as possible, and that's just the way it's going to be. So, cut them some slack. Go check out that, the last video, it was called The Stipulations, so go check it out. Like I said, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if it is PG-13, because usually I have to be around them, or I'm in the video to monitor them, to make sure, there's nothing said, because, like I also said before, that these videos are watched in school, not like elementary school or something, but like maybe middle school, high school, definitely. So, like I said, maybe the family might watch it. But then again, this is Michael. This has been Talking That Nonsense. Do what you do. Do what you do best. And be good people. Sometimes I forget how to English. It's a shame. Ah! My God! Goodbye, everyone.